Welcome to Alignment First, where our mission is to bring leaders back to their peace, presence, and power. And I've got the honor and the pleasure to sit down with the founder of Megalife Integrative Wellness, Megan Joseph. And I'm going to read this verbatim because I think it's massive. When traditional medicine offered limited relief, Megan turned to herbs, mushrooms, and holistic healing. Through years of research, trial, and transformation, she discovered nature's ability to restore balance and made it her mission to share that wisdom with others. I love everything about this, and I'm so grateful that you're taking the time and creating space for this conversation. I walked into your place, one, because you're around the corner from my house, two, just simply in search of incense for the studio that I'm sitting in right now. I got some going right now. And what I ended up getting was so much more than that. We are partners. I'm so looking forward to sending our tribe to you for your wisdom in the conversation that we're going to have today. And also just an education in all things herbal remedy. I mean, the wall behind the register with just those, what do you call it? Mason jars full of herbs of every sort. And then the education that you just so willingly bestowed upon me and you had not only an educated answer, but also a system, a protocol, a solution to whatever question I had. And that is so rare to find both education and that abundance mentality to serve in a single vessel. And that's you, Megan. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
I love to serve. That's for sure.
It is obvious. And I want to start here at the beginning because, what is Ehlers-Danlos syndrome?
It's a connective tissue disorder. It's a genetic condition.
Did I pronounce that correctly?
Yes, Ehlers-Danlos. Okay. It's a connective tissue disorder, and it's a breakdown in collagen and just your connective tissue. Mm-hmm. It was great for when I was younger, as far as I was a gymnast, so I was hypermobile. But as I started to age and things happening, my body was breaking down very fast and rapidly, amongst other things. And it really caused a lot of issues in my body. And, mm-hmm. Finding out I had it, then it was just like, okay, what do we do? Because it took a long time to find out what I had. But then it was like, oh, there's nothing you can do. Mm. And I'm like, that's not an answer for me. Like, that's not going to be the answer for me. Mm-hmm. And then I just started doing my own stuff and, educating myself and doing all the research. You become your own. I just went down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Would not stop, because that wasn't going to be my answer. I saw mm-hmm. it affecting my mom, or like affecting what was happening to my mom was happening to me at 40 and it was happening to my daughter at 15. So okay. I just could see at a different perspective mm-hmm. than a lot of people. So I knew that I had to figure it out, how to, I didn't want my daughters to be in the hospital the way I was having to be in the hospital. So yeah. I had to find another way.
Mm-hmm. Did you have a moment? Because obviously as a gymnast, I can 100% see a lot of utility in that condition. And was there and obviously the older we get and the more distance we have between us and sport, the mm-hmm. things that were great in performance seem mm-hmm. to break down or become limiters in our ability to live a full life beyond that. So was there a moment where you're just like, oh, okay, this thing that wasn't really worth investigating because it made me a better gymnast, isn't making me a better mom, business owner, wife? Like what was the conflict as far as lifestyle integration that served you in sport that wasn't working at that point?
Well, I wasn't just a gymnast. I did every sport. Mm-hmm. I grew up in Oklahoma, so okay. Sports was everything, mm-hmm. so I did everything. Everything. So I think getting older, I wasn't as active. Well, and there's just different muscles that you, touch on that you don't, like going to the gym. Mm-hmm. I would still go to the gym, but there's those little muscles, kind of like Pilates would be a more form, or yoga. Those are like those little muscles that you can't get so much mm-hmm. in the gym. So yeah, I just, I don't know. I just started doing so much research on that as far
Mm-hmm.
as how I could, but I would never be as active as I was as a kid, but
Right.
it was good that I wasn't, because that was it was kind of making my cortisol and adrenal glands exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I really went through is adrenal insufficiency. So I had to
Okay.
learn a lot about the adrenal glands. So some people are meant to be very, very active. And for me, that wasn't serving me anymore. It's actually increasing my cortisols, increasing my, I needed to go more in and meditate and be more still for a second. So that was but how do I be still and not break down?
Mm.
So learning that, and yeah, and then it became my superpower.
I love that. It's you see it a lot in
Yeah,
high performers, people that are
yeah,
starting businesses, serving big visions, the veteran community, the ex athlete community, where
yeah.
they in youth, when you can get away with it, predominantly live life at such a fast pace,
Mhm.
and or as you start to experience and accumulate these micro traumas,
Yeah,
like, we talk about PTSD under the premise that it's, you're on the battlefield and you hold your Marine's head in your hands while he takes his last breath. And
yeah,
yeah, that's one end of the spectrum. But I would say what is more common is just simply not dealing with all the little shit that inevitably adds up and creates a negatively exponential return.
mm,
And all of a sudden you find yourself like just cascading off the cliff.
yeah,
um what are when you recognize that, which it sounds like that's kind of the direction you were headed.
yeah.
um what were the signs and symptoms that had you, go visit the hospital?
Oh man. There were so many. By the time, well, and also during this time, I had breast implants too. So
Hmm.
that's something I want to touch on big time, because that's a big deal. That was
Hmm.
speeding things up too, because
Okay.
by the time um, I had so many symptoms.
Hmm.
So, your body turns into an autoimmune response. Like I was anaphylactic to grass at the time that I finally got my breast. Like I couldn't go outside without giving myself an epi.
Wow.
So me going to the gym, like it was like I was trying to go to the gym. I was trying to do everything healthy, what we call healthy, right?
Hmm.
But having these breast implants, I had mercury tooth in my mouth, all these things that I had that were, my body was like, I had parasites, I had heavy metals. My body was like, no more, I cannot do this. And it was
Hmm.
shutting down. I mean, that's literally like, for me to go outside, I had to do an epi, because my
Yeah.
back, when they did my allergy test, was,
Yeah.
my whole back was covered with grass. Like
Oh,
just, it was anaphylactic.
yeah.
Couldn't give me allergy injections. They couldn't. So there was so many things that were happening. So then I just started, and also I do want to touch on this. There was a lot of unresolved trauma.
Okay.
Trauma plays a big factor in what we carry in our body too. So I
Hmm.
want to touch base on that. There wasn't just physical. There was a lot of internal stuff that I had to work on and
Hmm.
heal, and unforgiveness and, bitterness, things like that. All these things can accumulate in the body and the cells. So it was so much that needed to be
Hmm.
looked at and healed. And yeah, so it was
Yeah.
a lot of symptoms. It was everything you can imagine.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
I don't even
it
understand.
sounds like you went the allopathic route to start,
Oh yeah,
and then what was your first exposure to, oh wait, this is an inside job. There's a lot of what we call head trash or spiritual trash that is becoming psychosomatic
for sure.
in my immune system.
Yeah.
And I don't know, and I don't want to discount the allopathic Western medicine
Mhm.
community, but
Yeah.
I don't know any doctors in that realm that make that correlation right off the bat.
Hmm.
And I've got so many trips to the VA over shit like this, and
Yeah.
not once have we explored anything
Yeah.
like that out beyond my disability claims. So that being said, how did you connect those dots? Like, oh, maybe there's something going on up here or up here that if left unresolved, everything that's going on in my physical body will go
Mhm.
unresolved.
I mean, I'm someone who had very big spiritual awakenings, a lot of God moments, a lot of
Okay.
God moments. So it's it
What's a
was
what's a what's a
I
what's a
would get
god what's a
smacked
god
in the
mo
face
what
with
what's a god moment?
mm, oh man.
Tell me a story.
Oh gosh. Okay. Like I have a mentor from India who came and said, it's time for you to start praying now. And I always knew he was coming. Like I'd always feel him and it's time for you to start praying. And then, I stopped praying at a certain time. I would meditate. Um, and then a few weeks later, I could all of a sudden hear, this is going to sound bizarre, but the voice of God. Some people hear, some people don't, but he would all of a sudden talk to me like, I'm your father, things like that. And I'm your strength. And there's so many things that happened to me where um, just big aha moments. Like there was no way for me to doubt it anymore. Cause that's truly what I was missing was the faith and the spiritual side of
Mm-hmm.
um, the connection,
Yeah.
some people can come for herbs and for, but some people need the herbs and some people need the connection.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much more to all of this than just
Yeah.
me being here on this earth. It's me serving for him. I'm a servant now and I
Yeah.
do what I can do to help others as he would want me to. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm, love me some God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how is it that uh we lose connection with source, whether it's God, the universe, I I've been all over the world in my life, and I've experienced people of many walks of life and many faiths.
Yeah.
And there's a through line in there that if you chunk up high enough,
Mhm.
what they provide is a framework or rules to follow that
Right.
optimize your existence on this physical plane.
Mhm.
And to your point, there seems to be a lot of people out there that are rediscovering for themselves what that needs to look like, this connection that you're referencing.
Yeah.
And either in your own experience or in your observation with those that you serve, what is it that created the disconnection in the first place?
Uh, just seeing, bad things happen and, how you're just like, well, if there's a God, how can that happen, and
Hmm.
not understanding it all. Um, yeah, just through the traumas, through the
Hmm.
mindset, you don't understand how you really are being attacked, as far as, the best thing me and my husband ever started doing is praying over our family.
Hmm.
And, it made huge difference in our lives. And, there's a lot more out there that we can't see.
Hmm.
So I think unless and then once I could see it, there was a moment where the veil was lifted over me and I could see everything. I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I did not know this existed, because I'm walking around just um, in my own 3D experience. Right.
Hmm.
And so once the veil was lifted,
Hmm.
I understood a lot more. So
Yeah.
yeah, just having those big experiences where you could just see past you know, what we see with our eyes.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
tell me about the moment or moments that led up to you beginning to walk in faith as opposed to fear.
Oh man. Well, we had talked about my first journey and
Mhm.
that was that was a accidental journey, but a very important journey.
Okay.
Because it showed me things that I couldn't see that I had no idea, but I knew there were just big blocks in my life of why, because I always knew I was going to do this. Like there was always this knowing
Mhm.
that this was happening. I would talk about it. People are like, "You're crazy." I'm like, "Okay," but I already seen it. Like I would get visions, a lot of
Mhm.
visions. And that's other moments that I would have. I would see these visions.
Mhm.
So yeah, I had an experience which I accidentally went on a journey that I didn't mean to do. I meant to microdose, and boy, oh boy, did it open up a whole nother world where I could see just the things I needed to move past and blocks I had that were not mine. I was carrying. You don't realize how much things you're carrying, maybe ancestrally, or mom, dad, the fears that they had that were put on you that they don't intentionally mean to do. They're doing the best with what they know how to do, but it just they just get fears. You just get these roadblocks, and my family was really big in business, so they had a lot of those oh no moments. It's a high risk game. So it can really, and they meant well by trying to teach me what they had learned.
Yep.
But it's not your story is not my story. And so learning to separate what your traumas are, those aren't my traumas, those are yours. And I'm going to move past those traumas, and I'm going to keep on going. Yeah. And just really, really lean in faith. I mean, business is the most spiritual thing you could do. Like, it has got me. Oh, my connection has grown so much. Like, with faith. I mean, that's all you can lean on. I mean, if you got a business with an overhead, I mean, what else can you lean on? You can only do so much, but then there's a moment where you have to wait and be patient.
Well, I want to kind of pull on this thread here, because I think this is really important. Let's play on the positive end of the spectrum and lean into the not only the best of intentions and doing the best with what you had, but also going out of your way as parents and mentors to put our kids in the best position to win from our points of view and our lived experience, right? So let's paint the picture in that regard. There are things in those teachings, depending on when that wisdom decides to show up, that in your very minimal, naive, immature to a certain extent lived experience, that you're not prepared and or have the tools or the education or experience to manage that wisdom. So the way you hear the same guidance at 7 versus 17 versus 27 versus 37, it could be the exact same lesson, the exact same words, but in the evolution of who you are, you're going to hear and implement that wisdom differently. At 7, it might sound like you're being reprimanded. At 17, it's like information overload. At 27, it's like, ooh, I'm starting to get it. At 37, it's like, oh my God, what a gem. You know what I mean? So that when you talk about the unlearning and relearning, would you also agree, and feel free to disagree, would you also agree that some of that is just simply like, now I'm ready for that guidance?
Our perception shifts. I love that. Each time I get a new perception shift on things, I'm like, oh, I love that. Okay. It's just, that's all. That's what wisdom is. You just see the world differently each decade almost. It's like a different experience.
Yeah. How would you recommend, like, the 20 somethings listening to this conversation, how would you recommend that they lessen that learning curve and, as best you could, skip ahead and be more accepting to implement wisdom?
Well, what I've done with my kids, what I try to do is teach them about gratitude, the laws of what you put out, just what you surround yourself with, your mind, who you're around. Because man, you can not hit as many obstacles as say I did. And you're still going to hit lots of obstacles, right? But if I would have known what I knew in my 30s, and which my girls do, or my kids know that younger because I
Mm-hmm.
taught them, right? As soon as I found out, I'm like, oh, gratitude, how important that is. How,
Yeah.
all these things that we, yeah, I can't stress that enough. Like
Mm-hmm.
learning about gratitude was the biggest gift I could have been given. And
Mm-hmm.
the more I can pass that down my kids at a younger age, or even 20-year-olds, telling them about the importance of gratitude.
Yeah.
Even if it doesn't feel like you should be grateful, but man, it makes miracles. Boy, oh boy, gratitude is
Mm-hmm.
key to miracles. More
Yeah.
miracles and more miracles.
So let's go back to your journey in healing.
Mhm.
This journey that you went on, this accidental journey.
Oh man.
And now that you know all the things that you know, I'm curious because I have 100% fucked around and went on an accidental heroic dose,
Oh man, yeah. Yeah.
and the frame and the perception and the experience leading up to it really framed how I perceive that experience in the aftermath, right?
Right.
Some would say that have described very similar experiences and been like, oh my God, like never again, capital T trauma, not never touching this stuff again. And for me, it was like I got what I needed, and then
Yeah.
it really demonstrated for me the necessity for facilitation.
Oh
Like
yeah.
I will never engage in the medicine without a
Yeah.
facilitator
Yeah.
ever again.
Yeah.
So, all of that being said, for the audience, what is the difference? And we can go scientific and talk about dosage, or we can go esoteric and just talk about the difference in the experience. But what's the difference between a microdose and a heroic dose as far as psilocybin is concerned?
So a microdose allows you to heal on a slower level, and it's also a good antidepressant, if I can say that. I don't know.
Sure.
Your serotonin receptors, it builds new pathways, because
Okay.
I too had major PTSD.
Mm-hmm.
So it allowed little pathways that I never could see the world, and it just opened that up for me now, where I could see the beauty sometimes, or I could see, right? Because when you're in a trauma loop, you just can't, you're in a
Yeah.
trauma loop.
Okay.
Um, but as far as hero dose is going to be, it's going to open you up very quickly,
Mm-hmm.
and you're going to see. I mean, a lot of people might have great experiences. They might, but then there's a lot that could be very traumatizing.
Sure.
Because if you're unwrapping, what I saw was my mom's wounds, my father's wound, and it was all just, and I wasn't expecting it because I was more in fitness nutrition. I never had
Mm-hmm.
really, I dabbled in stuff, but never something that would open me up like that, where I could go to another place. And I was like, whoa, this is intense.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I was more in a loop of shame, a lot of,
Mm-hmm.
I could feel a lot of shame, but that too was so beneficial for me because it allowed me to go, oh my goodness, this needs to go. Like, I didn't even know
Mm-hmm.
this was here. And what a block it was, because it was
Yeah.
blocking me from all of this. But a hero dose is going to really open you up fast. And there can be consequences,
Yeah.
if it opened up too fast. Like,
Let's talk about it.
yeah, so, schizophrenia in some places is a beautiful thing. In Peru, you go, they'll treat you
Mm-hmm.
like you have a gift. Here, it's not. You're
Mm-hmm.
put in an asylum. They don't know how to handle schizophrenia, right? But yeah, I mean, it can be dangerous in
Mm-hmm.
ways for people who aren't prepared for it. Who, luckily, I'm surrounded by people who are able to, I can really lean on. But if I
Mm-hmm.
didn't have that, if I was surrounded by people who don't understand it,
Yeah.
it would have been very damaging.
Sure.
I would have
Yep.
ended up in psych ward after psych, you know what I mean? Which there was a moment of that when I had
Mm-hmm.
PTSD and stuff, but
Yeah.
you know, yeah, that can really happen to people where it's just too much for them and they're
Yeah.
not prepared for it. So that's why I try to stay away from the hero dose. I'm
Mm-hmm.
more about microdosing. I think it could be very beneficial. 0.1,
Yeah.
0.25. Those are, to me, doses that are really helpful and beneficial. I see a lot of progress with people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that. Again, the education that you bring to the table is massive, because I think when you start to uh create space between you and the defaults of the Western medical system,
Mhm.
and start to source your own solutions
Uh-huh.
and move towards the naturopathic realm.
Mhm.
There's a lot of question marks, not because it's woo woo or
Mhm.
the system or the establishment says don't go there, but it's more so like, if all of the medications and prescriptions that we take at the end of the
Yeah.
day are derived from these herbs,
Plants.
right? Why
Yeah, it's crazy.
why is it quote unquote taboo to explore again?
Yeah.
So we can look at this at a spiritual level, at a physical
Yeah.
level.
Yeah.
You're going straight to source. That's the
Yeah.
way that I see it.
Yeah.
And
It's God's
what
medicine.
so since you've made this transition and now this is your professional
Mhm.
existence,
Uh-huh.
why is your route always second tier compared to going to the hospital and getting a prescription?
Mm. It's a big business.
Okay. Hey, we can tinfoil hat it. It's all good. Tell
That's a big,
we're
yeah, that's a big
yeah, we're
topic.
but let's get away from
If I
uh
was, here's the thing.
yeah.
Medicine is very valuable. I watched someone be on life support
Hmm.
and very valuable.
Yeah.
Surgery, very valuable. But there's lots of famous people now that are saying it too. And I'm like, yay, finally they're saying it.
Yeah.
Um, I wouldn't go to a doctor for my general health.
Hmm.
That's not where, for me, where I would go.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, that's just it.
Do you feel like there's the microwave mentality that also gets in the way, like the immediate relief of a symptom with a pill versus
Yeah.
what would take what would require more time and a lot more consistency and
Yeah.
ownership of your shit?
Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah. Well, I try to, yeah, for sure. When I break away, so with people that I work with,
Hmm.
I slowly integrate into that because
Yeah.
at first, even me, I didn't get it. I just only knew these were physical symptoms.
Right.
That's it. That's it. I didn't understand. Oh, I have trauma here. Oh, I'm storing. Oh, okay. Like that was
Hmm.
too much for me to even unravel.
Yep.
So I think working with people slowly, and that's why like microdosing slowly or just incorporating plants slowly. And
Hmm.
then it starts to chip away where then they'll get to the point where they're going, like I'm working with a lady with menopause, right?
Hmm.
And one of the emotions behind menopause is learning to accept yourself, acceptance of, and looking at it as like, oh, I have wisdom. I'm like growing into this wonderful being instead of looking at it in our world where we're taught to look at it as we're getting old and old is bad. And that's
Mm.
that's menopause. Why is a woman's symptom a man's name? And it's not anywhere else, right? But in
Okay.
America, we're really taught to, that's all that matters is your looks and who you know what I mean? It's not looked at as, oh my gosh, you're turning into this beautiful, wise woman. And you're there's different things in
Mm.
life. And we're taught here that that's bad. It's not
So
okay.
this is interesting because we have what I'm experiencing as you're saying that is this confluence of two things.
Hmm.
In young people and probably more men,
Hmm.
it could be argued either way, but this rite of passage that is slowly but surely falling away,
Hmm.
that is going from child to adult, boy to man,
Right.
girl to woman.
Hmm.
Like those used to be part of the process that was growing up,
Right.
and now it seems like those opportunities are less and less, and now you can only find them preserved in sport or the military, where like it's cultural or part of the system, if not both, Like you have to go so far away from the home, where it was at one point when it was, proportionately way more blue collar than it was white collar. You're going to go learn to work with your hands, or uh, uh, pull the crops, or whatever. Those
Right.
those rites of passage that created utility and confidence, and like, I know how to do things.
Yeah.
Like those opportunities don't seem to be as readily abundant as they used to be
Yeah.
in youth. And then also the perception, once, like, menopause being a physiological trigger that you're stepping into this new season of your life as a woman. And I'm 100% mansplaining this, so you can go ahead
Yeah.
and
No, you're good.
um
You're doing
but
great.
I love that. Like, here we go. Okay, now I have, like, my body is telling me that I've achieved and accumulated so, like, enough wisdom
Yeah.
to activate this. This is my signal to step
Yeah.
into this
Next phase.
elevated identity.
Yeah.
Is it, so where did you get hip to that? Because I love that as a frame
Yeah.
for women to do all the things to
Yeah.
preserve their youth, but also
Yeah.
at the same time stop trying to unwind the
Yeah.
biological clock.
Yeah. Let's not. Yeah. Like, well, so I started putting, say, Botox and fillers. I had breast implants. I was all that.
Mm-hmm.
But it was making me sick.
Mm-hmm.
It was going against who I really was internally. Like, this
Mm-hmm.
is not who I am. And then it took one of my injectors. She was like, she was like paralyzed from Botox. She could walk with them. And I'm like, and finally I said to my husband, I said, will you love me if I stop this? And he
Did,
said, the question is, will you love yourself?
good for
And it
him.
was the best. Oh, he's such a wise man. I love my husband. He's so fantastic. And that's what he said to me. And I was like, and that's where the journey was. It was about learning to love myself, not what the world tells you to do. And that's why we have a med spa. Like, we created something where if you want to stop getting the Botox and fillers, you can. I can't promise
Mm-hmm.
you the exact same results, but I don't have them.
Mm-hmm.
We learn to do something internally and out externally, where you work on you inside, you put these amazing plants in, and now you look at, it's about, this is exciting to get
Mm-hmm.
older.
Yeah.
It is a gift. Like, this is a blessing. Like, this is so
Mm-hmm.
great. I feel better than I did now than I did in my 20s. I was a hot
Right.
mess.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't pay, don't you couldn't pay me enough money to go back to that.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, it's so awesome. But, like, working with my client, like one of my clients, like, that's where she's at, like, having to shift that perception. Like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
these gray hairs, I should keep. Yeah, keep them, rock them. Like, be you. You're
Yeah.
fabulous. Like, and it's just, helping them. I start with the herbs, but then helping them grow into, like, yes, I am beautiful. And yes, I love myself. And yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I can still take care of myself and do skincare and take whatever herbs I want and do all these things, to take care of myself. But it's not the end all be all. What's the beautiful perception shifts we get, and the
Mm-hmm.
releasing the trauma from our body. What a blessing that is. Like,
Yeah.
oh man, to go just to feel at peace in your body is the
Mm-hmm.
biggest gift you could give someone. And that's what they talked about. Jesus is all about peace be with you, like, more peace, and
Yeah.
understanding what peace really means, to sit alone with yourself and be peaceful, instead of
Mm-hmm.
having to seek it from all the things and all the all the
Yeah.
stuff. That's not peace. Peace is being alone with yourself in the middle of nature and going, oh, this is the best feeling I could ever ask for.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's the blessing it is to get older. And I pray every woman, because menopause is not, it's more of an American thing.
Okay.
If you look,
In terms of the way it's perceived.
yeah, in
Okay.
Asia, and they don't go through the symptoms we go through. They don't go through, yeah. Because there's a lot of energetics. Yes, it's the food, it's the, but it's a lot of energetics of what we perceive as beauty too. Like, it's different. in Peru and all these other countries, it's like a birthright. It's like you are a wise woman. Here it's like, oh no, you're old, you're ugly, you're all the things. Your body doesn't work anymore. It's like you're gonna get old. That's the biggest lie and scam there is.
Right.
It's a scam.
So one of the things that I experienced in my first interaction with you was how simple it is to right the ship. And so often, especially when the majority of our lives, we've been taught or conditioned to remedy these conditions, these symptoms with a pill or a trip to the doctor. And obviously that has its place, and also when you start to look in the other direction, because it's unfamiliar, because we're ignorant of how it actually works, we're not in tune or connected with ourselves. It just seems like my medicine cabinet needs to look like that back shelf behind your register. And that's the thought of that is daunting and overwhelming.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm just going to, even if I know that this isn't the best option, it's the one that I know. So I'm just going to stick with that. So make this thing that seems so fucking complicated, make it simple for me. Okay. If I was going to start from square one and really accept the fact that this is an inside job, physically, emotionally, mentally, and ultimately spiritually.
Right.
Where do I start?
Breath and prayer and nature. Breath, prayer, and nature. 3. It's so simple. And cut out sugar. Sugar.
Okay.
Yeah. Those are the top 4. And then we can look at deficiencies. And but truly, we're all our own guru inside. Like truly, like once you start to tap in, everything. I went to all the schools. I did all the all the things, right? I have a list of stuff, right? But it was really dropped in me through meditation and being still. Like God says, be still, be still, and know that I'm your God, right? And really, it's that simple. Be still. We're taught in a world that we have to move, and but that's to separate you from
self. Yeah.
Is aligned with God. We are one. We are one. You're one with God. God is everything.
So breath, prayer, nature. What was number 4?
Remove sugar.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not in flu season. We're in sugar season.
Ooh, okay.
Sugar starts in October. Don't get me started on that. We're on a sugar season right now. So from October to after the holidays, we're in sugar season, why is flu season the same time?
Interesting.
Sugar lowers your immune system, and it causes inflammation and all the things. Don't get me started on sugar. Anything you have is not anything but sugar.
Yeah, processed, refined.
Yep.
So now we dial in those 4 tenets. We remove sugar, we get out in nature, we come back to breath, and we start to express gratitude.
And prayer.
What happens next?
Then you can then God gave you all these beautiful gifts. He gave you the medicine, the plants. The plants are the medicine, but nature is his medicine too. I mean, it's all these things that were put here by God that's our medicine. Sunlight. Sunlight, but nature and sunlight go together, right? That's like one of our biggest hormones. And of course, we're all working 8 to 5, where that's when you need the vitamin D and sunlight. And it's the biggest antibiotic there is, all the things. It's a hormone in our bodies. And then, tap into the herbs, start, and I always start people out like in the program I do. I'll start them out. It can seem overwhelming at first, but I'll say, no, you're going to become your own medicine woman, your own medicine man. So then you're going to know, I don't believe in taking anything daily ever. I think that our bodies are pretty amazing. I think as
Mm-hmm.
much as we can eat, I'm a big fan of like raw dairy and, getting our
Yep.
nutrition different ways or, so I start there with the food and then
Mm-hmm.
we'll have supplements are for making sure we don't have a deficiency. Because deficiencies can cause issues, hair loss, all sorts of things. So
Right.
deficiencies, and then I'm a big one on Parasite heavy metal cleansing. So
Okay.
that's something that once you start to really incorporate that as a regular thing,
Mm-hmm.
not monthly, but every 3 months we Parasite cleanse now and heavy metal cleanse for a week.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, it can cause it can change your life. And
Yeah.
these diseases we've been taught with all
Mm-hmm.
these names, like,
Yeah.
are just other words for parasites or, or,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't want to go too far down.
Sure. What's the difference symptomatically, maybe, between what one would experience in a parasite cleanse versus a heavy metal detox?
I do it together.
Okay.
So, you know what I mean? The tincture I made is where it's all together.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it should go hand in hand,
Okay.
really, to be honest, because they kind of go together. The parasites and heavy metals go together. So like with my tincture that I've made, or I have capsules too.
Mm-hmm.
But we try to move it all together. And then
Okay.
we have the channels open through different herbs all together. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just I don't really do them separately.
Yeah.
I think just do it together. Like,
Yeah. I don't think people readily identify what the body does a as a mechanism for healing and cleansing.
oh, it's
Like
amazing.
like
Fasting is like
like
the biggest.
a fever does that. The autophagy you experience through
Yeah,
fasting,
fasting's
you know,
that's another thing. Fasting.
mhm,
I forgot. I should have put that on the list.
um,
Fasting is
when you experience a fever or a purging of any sort, whether it's vomiting or diarrhea, like that's your body uh moving
yeah,
energy,
energy. Yeah,
right?
it's a release.
So when you move through these protocols, then I love this combined effort, by the way. I'm a huge
Mhm.
fan of that, of heavy metal detox and parasite cleansing.
Mhm.
What can somebody expect?
Everyone's different.
Hmm.
So, you know what I mean? That's hard to say.
Hmm. What
Everyone's so different. Some people can get headaches. Some people can get stomach upset. Some people might not have any issues. Um,
Hmm.
I like to do it more slow and steady. That's my motto with Parasite and
Yeah.
heavy metal cleansing. Slow
Hmm.
and steady wins the race. We're
Yeah.
not in a rush. Some of these
Hmm.
critters have been with you and things have been with you since birth because energetic wise,
Yeah.
physical wise, since a lot of them are very smart
Hmm.
and they're like, no, you ain't getting rid of me. So
Yeah.
slow and steady. Because once if you do hit them really hard, and I don't know about you, I don't have time. I mean, I don't have time to go in a village for a month
Yeah.
and I don't have that
Hmm.
luxury to do that.
Hmm.
So I try to cleanse my family slow and steady, and then it's become a lifestyle.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
every 3 months now we cleanse for a week, and we have no problems now. So as
What
far
is
as
it? What does that look like as a protocol? So you're going to cleanse for a week. Are you like just water and lemon juice? Like
no, I don't do that.
what
I
are
don't.
I knew you're going to react that way.
No, I don't do that.
So what does it look like? Because I love this approach. Like this is what we're going to do as a family,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
Well, my son started speaking a week after his first parasite heavy metal cleanse at 4.5 years old. Yeah,
really,
yeah. He was nonverbal until he's 4.5, and then I did my first heavy metal parasite cleanse on him, and he was speaking the next week.
oh my
And I
gosh,
just talked to a mom the other day. I'm working with
yeah,
his son, and he has Down syndrome and autism, and
hmm,
lights are coming on.
yeah.
It's
So
only been a few weeks.
this
It's
is, because you and I have overlapping circles in our practice, and one of the uh, points of resistance that we experience in our clients, as I'm sure you do as well, is like, well, I want to do this, but how do I get my family on board? Right. So what does it look like for you in making this part of your family system?
I make it where I don't take away sugar. Yes, sugar, fruits. Yes, fine, but sugar they already know. Don't even try me.
Mhm.
But my husband has had issues with sugar in the past. So he's also now on board, right? But he had to go through his thing
Yep.
to understand why he can't have sugar, right?
Sure.
Thank God for that. Because he was a sugaraholic and I was too. Candy was my thing. So I think that's made it a little bit easier. Now for my son who autism, I had to get creative. Before he wouldn't take anything. So I had to find out what he liked. Okay, I could give him a strawberry banana smoothie. Okay, he would do that. Or if I mix something with honey, and that's how I've got him to, his whole palate has changed now.
Yeah.
Because I started introducing chlorella, spirulina, doing all these little things. Like I said, I didn't take away, I added in. So that's why these big, unless someone's needing a full on, like the woman with menopause, we had to get rid of all the estrogen disruptors and things like that, right? So I had to do a full makeover with her, okay? But with my family, we were pretty good about stuff. So it's like, I just had to add. If I were to tell my husband, get rid of red meat and go vegan, he would be like, yeah, right. So I can't do that. I had to learn how to work with him. And what one person is good, something's good for them could be poison to another.
Sure.
So I don't try to change them. I allow them to eat what they like in moderation.
Right.
But then just incorporate the little thing. And now my son, he'll take little shots all day. Like he's good. Like you wouldn't even know he has autism with his like palate and stuff. Like and again, for me, autism is just a beautiful gift.
Yeah, sure.
It was about once we turn the lights on, you can see the gifts. And so doing all these things have helped him. His light is just so bright.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's absolutely incredible. I love the in addition to as opposed to instead of philosophy.
Well,
that's
someone
big.
comes in here and I start throwing them out like you got to get rid of everything is not the biggest thing is just get rid of sugar. Let's get rid of seed oils and sugar.
Yeah.
We can get rid of those inflammatory things. We're good. And then they don't have a hard time. It becomes a lifestyle. They get to see, oh, I can enjoy food. Oh, I can enjoy. Yeah, we have a great time. There's not a dull moment in our life. We're good.
But at the same time, I think that there's also that piece of the equation that people are avoiding. You know, you talk about moving through this heavy metal detox, this parasite cleanse, and you know, your body may purge, you may experience headaches, you know, like all of those symptoms that we're on a mission to avoid. But it's really like the bridge between the less than optimal, dare I say, sickness that you've been living with for this prolonged period of time to it's like a fever breaking, you know, and then all of a sudden she's like, oh my God, like I feel absolutely amazing. But you had to go through that for a brief moment. You know, it's like when people are experiencing the DTs coming off, like, you know, drug addiction and alcohol abuse and things like that. It's like that's the body, you know, purging all that stuff from the system. And if you incite that via these protocols, that should be your signal that it's working, not that it's going backwards for you.
Right. Well, but then we tailor it to someone. So say someone has to go to work. We don't want them to be sick.
No, absolutely. And that's where your long and slow philosophy comes through.
Slow and steady, because then, okay, like when we gave it to the one child, one dropper was too much. So then we just microdosed it. Let's microdose and slow and steady. And lights are coming on. Like he's starting to be aware where his mom's like, it's so exciting.
Testimonial.
It's so exciting to watch. Once you start getting rid of the parasites and heavy metals, especially in children, oh wow. Yeah. It's really cool. It's really cool to watch because I just got told like last week my son is moving up and we've been doing glutathione nasal spray too.
Yeah.
We're doing parasite cleansing and then glutathione, which we're going to move to some other peptides too, nasal peptides, because he'll do nasal sprays. I can't give him injections. And they're moving him up.
Yeah.
because things are starting to shift. We're
Mhm.
removing things, but we had to do it slow and steady.
Yeah.
We don't want it, like we talked about the mushroom journey of just
Mhm.
blasting someone wide open. Why?
Yeah. Mhm.
Again, if they have a practitioner but still, I've seen people go into psychosis,
Sure.
and
Mhm.
it can be dangerous. So we want to do
Right.
it slow and
Mhm.
allow their body and those slow perception shifts,
Yep.
the aha moments
Mhm.
happen instead of just blasting them wide open. We don't have to do it. Some people might end up doing it anyway, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. The I love that. There's uh just the ignorant rejection of the body doing what it's supposed to do,
Yeah.
that I feel like as you're describing these experiences, those are the things that people are ultimately the most resistant to.
Mhm.
Because if you ask anybody, to a person, it's like, do you want to continue to feel like shit? Do you want to continue to feel less than optimal? Do you always want to feel sick? The answer would always be no, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And yet, like, I don't.
But some people know. Some people
Mhm.
becomes their identity.
Right. Yep. Well,
Mhm.
I had my knee replaced 2 years ago, and
Yeah.
it was gross in there. It
Yeah.
was, and I'm 20 years ahead of schedule compared to
Love that.
the population that typically gets them,
Yeah.
right? And I didn't realize how much pain I was in until
Mm.
I didn't have it anymore.
Oh, I love
And
that.
and I feel like from an internal systemic standpoint, that's the same epiphany that people have. It's like, fuck, I didn't realize how sick I was
Yeah.
until I wasn't sick anymore.
Yeah.
Skin
It's
becomes more vibrant. It's, and I know you know this, when when you land the plane from a journey, and all of a sudden the universe, your physical universe is brighter, your aperture is expanded. You always hear like the figurative tall tale that you can watch the grass grow. You're just so tapped in and
yeah,
present, right?
connected.
And to a degree, when your body is operating optimally,
Mhm.
that could be your consistent experience,
Mhm.
right?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
and I don't think, and this is, I'm speaking to this from a surgical standpoint, but
Right.
I didn't realize how much bandwidth and capacity was tied up in managing how I sat,
Yeah.
how I slept,
Mhm.
the positions I had to put myself in to manage the chronic discomfort I was experiencing in this joint.
Mhm.
And then when I didn't have it anymore, it's like, oh my God, holy shit. Not only can I actually get up and play with my kids, I don't
Yeah.
I don't have to give it a second thought,
Mhm.
you
Yeah,
know.
we love
And,
seeing that.
and what you're talking about, like that's my reference point. Like, if you could do that holistically and systemically, get that same level of relief.
Yeah, you can.
Holy shit.
I don't get sick anymore. Like
Mhm.
my husband doesn't get sick. Like we don't get sick, and it's so funny coming from someone who is chronically sick or
Mhm.
chronically, you know. But it can be the surgery, it can be the herb, it can be
Mhm.
the forgiveness.
Yeah.
I'm
Mhm.
a big one who believes in making sure I forgive daily.
Yeah.
Boy, oh
Mhm.
boy, that can cause a lot of issues in the body. But yeah, it's amazing. It's so if people just knew
Mhm.
how we're really supposed to be living. And yes, we love to see when we take someone's pain away after like 15 years of just
Yeah.
chronic pain. And they're like, oh my gosh, I was riding my bike. They're 7 years old going, I rode my bike down, just seeing that where they're pain free. Yeah, people have become being healthy is like a luxury now when
Mhm.
it used to be what it was. Like you're not meant to
That's where you're
be.
supposed to be. Yeah.
You're to
Mhm.
be peace. Peace.
Yeah.
Peace.
It's it's so unfamiliar. And
Yeah.
I don't think I'm overreaching here,
No.
at such a deep rooted subconscious level.
Mhm.
it's almost as if people fear it.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. You'd be
Mhm.
surprised. I always tell people, don't become your diagnosis.
Yeah.
Don't become these words. Everyone comes in saying, like me, I have Ehlers-Danlos, like all these things. Like I was like, this is not it's my diagnosis, but it's not who I am. Not to
Right.
God. God, I
Mhm.
am like, no, that's not who I am. That's
Yeah.
medical system of what they
Mhm.
want to diagnose me with.
Right. Right.
But
Right.
once I become connected and in my, it's just, that's not who I am. I'm Megan
Mhm.
and I'm healthy and every cell in me works to its
Would
best.
do you believe there's a lot of power in just saying what you just said to yourself repeatedly?
Absolutely. The
Yeah.
words I am and well, yeah. Oh, affirmations are everything.
Mhm. Tell me more about that as a practice.
Oh, don't get me
Affirmation.
started.
I wanna get you started. Come on.
Life and death. Oh, life and death is in the power of the tongue. That's
Uh-huh.
it. That's it. What you speak, it will be so. Speak what you want, not what you don't want.
Mhm.
Even in my relationship, in my marriage, I had a nasty tongue before, and learning how powerful. I mean, Bible is such a wonderful gift. It's a gift of great knowledge. Take what you want, and take what you don't want, right?
Mhm.
And that is one thing. And what you think be
Mhm.
so. You think it'll be. I don't know how more we can teach this. When I started when me and my husband would get in a fight, instead of me
Mhm.
lashing out and saying the words I used to say or the things I was thinking, I
Mhm.
started literally tears down my face in my car going, thank you for this amazing, all the things I was needing, and he possibly was. I just wasn't seeing it because my perception, right? So
Mhm.
when my perception and my words changed, guess what followed?
Mhm.
Him.
Your
The
experience,
pit.
yeah.
He is all of that and more,
Mhm.
right? But it was me who was cursing myself. It was me who was speaking illness into my life. It was me who was focused on the symptoms where I couldn't get better, even if I wouldn't know a miracle if it punched me in the face, because I'm
Mhm.
so addicted to the negativity.
Right.
It releases something in you, and
Mhm.
some people will never. They're addicted to it. It's an
Yeah.
addiction. These hormones you get through negativity.
Mhm.
And I had to I have held myself accountable to see that, oh, like I said, God showed me it's not
Mhm.
me. It's not him. It's me.
Mhm.
It's me. Grass isn't green on the side. It's me. I need to shift my perception. I need to shift the way I respond to things. I need to shift.
Yeah.
And once you start learning that, it's like, whoa, the world just, with illness, I would envision me getting better. I would sit there in the sunlight and envision me getting better. I would
Mhm.
just see it, and I go through these little trances while I'm in my sleep meditation of just thank you for my blessings, God. Thank you for my blessings, God. And boy, oh boy, the blessings just start. I said just recently, I really want to connect with a new energy. And I feel like you coming in has been a different energy of exactly what
Mhm.
aligning,
Yeah.
with, so it's just once you start speaking it and you start believing that something new and aligned is coming, it's going to come and doors
Yeah.
will open. But like I said, don't become your diagnosis. If you
Yeah.
start saying, I am Megan with Ehlers, no, I
Yeah.
have it. It's not me.
Mhm.
And that's the biggest lesson I could teach anyone in healing the body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Megan, I'm grateful for you. I'm genuinely joyful in this new partnership, and I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to more collaboration with you guys in Megalife. And where can everybody find you, glean wisdom from you, access the resource that is Megalife?
Okay, so we have a storefront, and that is Megalife Integrative Wellness. We also have Megalife Skin and Beauty, and that's at 2240 North Scottsdale Road, Unit 110, Tempe, Arizona. Tempe, not Scottsdale. Even though we are Scottsdale, still put Tempe or you'll end up somewhere else. Also, megalifeinw.com, along with megalifeskinbeauty.com.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you so much for your time, your energy, and your light. For those of you that aspire to be the fittest leader possible, remember that starts with integrity, courage, and ownership.
Amen.
And to begin that process, reach out the next level. Let us guide you in that journey, because at the end of the day, the foundation we start with is alignment first. Till next time.
Thanks.